I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So this is,
well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
In a candid, no-holds-barred conversation with The View's Joy Behar, Ricky Gervais delves into the ever-evolving world of comedy, political correctness, and the crucial importance of free speech. Known for his sharp wit and unflinching willingness to take on taboo topics, Gervais makes a bold case for why comedy should be fearless, unapologetic, and willing to stir the pot. During this insightful interview, Gervais tackles the notion of offense, reminding us that what offends one person may not affect another. In his view, being offended doesn't automatically make someone right. Comedy, he argues, thrives on tackling uncomfortable and controversial issues, something that's becoming increasingly difficult in a world so obsessed with pleasing everyone. He emphasizes that trying to avoid offense in comedy is a losing battle, because humor's job is to confront the difficult truths of society, not to shy away from them.
Gervais is back with his first stand-up special in 7 years, and this time he's taken on all of humanity. Please welcome back the fabulous and quite funny Ricky Gervais. So, before we get into what the special is about, the question everybody wanted me to ask you is, are you excited about the royal wedding?
You can't even say it with a straight face. Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah.
No.
The royal wedding.
No, I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of frivolous nonsense.
Right.
I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs, but no, I mean, it's on every paper all the time. My news show is like, oh, no, I'm not interested at all.
I wonder,
Thanks for asking.
Just on the same subject, though, when I was in England trying to do stand-up there, you can't say anything about the Queen. They have a fit, and they won't laugh. Is that true when you do it?
No, not anymore.
Not my
well,
it was then.
No. I mean, I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
So this is...
Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
Before we continue, please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of the latest celebrity drama. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. When Behar asks about his approach to comedy, Gervais explains that a big part of his style is delving into irony and confronting societal taboos, even when his humor may not be universally appreciated. For him, comedy is a tool to challenge norms, creating space for conversations that are often difficult or uncomfortable to have.
Offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? So you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarise. You should polarise, because everyone's different, so...
But this year, you didn't host, and do you miss the fact that this was the Weinstein year?
Oh, I was salivating. Honestly. I got an adrenaline rush thinking of, what I could say and whether I'd have to go to jail. And, I like that opportunity, because I do like that, when there's a tension, when there's an elephant in the room, although he wasn't there this year. I do like that, because I do like confronting that, because I think it takes the audience to a place it hasn't been before. And it can be a mutual backslapping, fest, fine, but don't televise it, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires,
and who don't care about winning the awards. Yeah.
Humanity, which we mentioned, is your first comedy special in 7 years, and you say that it's the right time for it, the subject matter. Wow.
Yeah, well, I left it for 7 years, not on purpose. I was doing other things. I did a series, I did Derek, I did a couple of movies, and I pushed it back because I always thought that stand-up was like the second or third thing I did, whereas now I've changed my mind.
Gervais embraces the polarizing effect of his comedy, seeing it as an integral part of what makes his work impactful. By addressing sensitive topics head-on, he aims to push his audiences to think more deeply, regardless of whether they agree with him or not. Gervais also reflects on his infamous performances at the Golden Globes, where his biting, politically incorrect humor targeted celebrities, their egos, and the self-important atmosphere of Hollywood. He acknowledges that such humor can provoke strong reactions, but he sees this as a natural byproduct of comedy that dares to challenge the status quo. For Gervais, pushing boundaries is not just a style, it's a responsibility.
Now it's my favourite thing. I could give everything else up because it's such a privilege, and freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got to, you know, I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard.
What's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
So I'm offended. I'm going to die. So what? You know. So
You made enough money at this point.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to care.
You know, I'm going to give that to animals anyway, just to see the look on my stupid family's face. Leave it all to animals.
The discussion then shifts to the topic of freedom of speech, something Gervais is particularly passionate about. As he's grown older, Gervais has become less concerned with public opinion, feeling liberated to speak his mind and embrace his right to say what he truly believes. In his eyes, comedy offers a vital platform for open dialogue, allowing comedians to tackle the issues of the day in a provocative and often uncomfortable way. In a climate where many are wary of speaking out, Gervais believes freedom of speech has never been more important. It's the foundation for honest, unfiltered conversations.
Talk about your family.
I do. This is the most personal. Again, I think for the same reasons. You know, I think that it's nice to look back and it's a celebration. You know, I talk about my mum and dad and who aren't with us anymore, and jokes about the mum and mum's funeral. You know, because that's what I think that's what humour's for. It gets us over bad stuff. So it's a sin to joke about all the bad things. That's a waste, because that's exactly what we should joke about.
I also feel that when you talk about people who have gone to the next world, whatever that is, that you're keeping them alive in a way.
Well, yeah, they exist.
Yeah,
They exist.
they're still there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And, you know, I tell it, you know, there was a lot of truth, so I tell the truth, you know. It's not just this idealised view of your mum. You tell, you know, why. I remember when I was 12, I got older brothers and sisters, which is why I'm like I am, I suppose. I had to show off to be heard, right? And they're much older than me. They're like 11, 13 and 14 years older than me. And I remember when I was about 12, I said to my mum, why are my brothers and sisters so much older than me? And she said, you were a mistake.
Have it.
I just laugh.
But it's not just about politics or social commentary for Gervais. He also shares personal stories about his upbringing and the grief he's faced in his life, particularly the loss of his parents. He uses humor as a coping mechanism, showing how laughter helped him deal with some of the toughest moments in life. He recalls growing up in a working-class family where humor wasn't just a source of joy, but a survival tool to endure the harsh realities of poverty. His anecdotes, like his mother joking that he was a mistake because of the age gap between him and his siblings, highlight the power of humor to heal and bring comfort even in the darkest of times. As Gervais reflects on his career, he makes a compelling argument for why comedy should never shy away from pushing boundaries. Whether it's challenging political correctness, confronting sensitive issues, or defending freedom of speech, Gervais believes comedy is an essential part of how we navigate life's challenges. Through his personal stories, he reminds us of the therapeutic power of laughter in the face of hardship, grief, and societal adversity. Ricky Gervais leaves us with a powerful message. Comedy should be fearless, thought-provoking, and, above all, honest. It's a vital tool for not just laughing at life's absurdities, but also for tackling the tough, uncomfortable truths that we all need to confront. So, what do you think of today's topic? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.